Welcome everyone to another edition of AEW Dark on TEW 2020. Kicking off this episode, Angelico will take on Evil Uno. Ali steps into the ring to take on Tay Conti. We'll also have Luchasaurus against the Inner Circle's Jake Hager. And for tonight's main event, Joey Janela against Jimmy Havoc. So kicking off this week's episode of AEW Dark, after it was made last week, Angelico stepped into the ring to take on Evil Uno. It had a decent reaction from the crowd, but only subpar wrestling. It was Evil Uno, who we don't usually see in singles competition, that came out on top, defeating Angelico in just over 9 minutes. It got segment rating of 44, both very similar in in-ring performances. Angelico with a 43, Uno with a 46. We all know tensions have been brewing, Jack Evans being a part of the Dark Order and Angelico wanting his tag team partner back. If we have a look at the booking details, did I have Jack Evans? Yeah, so Jack Evans was at ringside, so was Stu Grayson, and Angelico should be distracted by Jack Evans as the finish. So Evil Uno goes over as we roll into the next segment, and after the match, Angelico can't believe that he just lost to Evil Uno, but he is pointing his frustrations at Jack Evans, saying, "What's the deal, man? What are you doing?" Jack Evans seems unsure, like Angelico is making progress. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson stand up on the ring apron, circling Angelico. Then Brody Lee comes out the top of the entranceway and yells, "Evil! Stu, what are you doing? Get here!" They obey and Brody pushes them backstage. Angelico has his back turned on Jack Evans and he seems torn, and then he attacks from behind, leaving Angelico laid out in the ring. So Jack Evans attacking his former tag team partner, Angelico. What is happening with the Hybrid 2? It's such a shame to see. This segment getting a 46. The performance of Brody Lee was good as we roll into our next match, and wow, yes, that's what I like to see. A segment rating of 42. The match between Ali and Tay Conti. In a bout that didn't have much heat, but terrible wrestling, Ali did overcome Tay in 8 minutes with a sit-out face buster. Look at that in-ring performance of Ali, a 50. She's very consistent, I believe, on this mod. So we're going to have to see what we can do about working her into some work on Dynamite. So we roll into the next segment. After the match, Ali doesn't look done with Conti, and she gets in a few kicks. And from out of the back, both Allysin Kay and Marty Bell run out, slide into the ring, stare down Ali. Then after a beat, they all smile and team up on Conti. After the beatdown, the three women stand together and hold their arms high. Then they hug. They are reunited once again. We all remember their... Well, I don't, because I didn't watch it at the time, but I know that these three were together on Impact in real life. And it's nice to see that Marty Bell is getting better at her gimmick. Remember the last couple of times I've put her in the ring here on Dark. It's been quite some time now. It's at the start of the series. She wasn't very good, but hopefully she does improve as time goes on. Up next, Jake Hager does defeat Luchasaurus in 8 minutes 42 after a swagger bomb. This segment getting a 51. Everything's looking good at the moment for this week's edition of Dark. Jake Hager with a 57, Luchasaurus with a poor 34 in-ring performance. Jungle Boy was present at ringside. As you can see, he does some good work there, and obviously they have pretty good chemistry, which is always good to note. And the main event of the evening was a hardcore match. Could be none other really for Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc, and it was Joey Janela coming out on top, defeating Jimmy Havoc. We're absolutely burying Havoc at the moment. The match deserved better announcing. That was the only downside really. Havoc with an in-ring performance of 70. I'm just not sure which direction to take Joey Janela in at the moment. I have one or two ideas, but I'm not sure whether they would work. And I don't really want to go for what he's doing in real life with Sonny Kiss. That's great and all, but I don't think it'll work for what I'm aiming. Overall, it gets a 51, so that's a really good improvement on last week's edition, or the last couple of editions of AEW Dark. Pretty solid all around. Women's action was good. That main event, the best match on the card, which I kind of expected. Both hardcore pros, if you will, and quite surprising to see that a 51 there for the Jake Hager Luchasaurus match. Anyway, that's it for this edition of AEW Dark. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you all soon for AEW Dynamite.